Hi everybody, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be discussing our origin story as artist and curator, our relationship and why it's important to have a great artist and curator relationship. So I want to kick it over to Steph to see where we started, her memories and all the things, and we'll go from there.
So we're gonna rep all the things South Florida 561 Atlanta
Literally.
High School because that's how far back it goes.
Mm-hmm.
I actually had no idea who Jessica was. People kept confusing me for her because if you ever went to a predominantly white school or if you were ever in a predominantly white academic program, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Just confuse all the Black people.
Yeah.
And assume. And we both wore glasses. We both had natural hair. I didn't have locks then. And then I found out that she was also Jamaican. And I'm just like, oh my goodness, like, that's not my name. I'm not Jessica. So that's where it started.
Mm-hmm.
And just started taking photo classes. I was already a regular in the art room and in the photo class. So we had all these things in common where people just assumed like, oh yeah, the Black girl in IB. Oh yeah, the Black girl in the photo room. They just assumed that that was Stephanie or that was Jessica. So they were just confusing us. And I had no idea who she was. I'm just like, I'm not this chick.
Literally.
So that was my introduction to Jessica, was just hearing of her.
Which is funny to think about. When you told me that, I was like, that's crazy. And then like to think about, you went to Carver as well?
Yep.
So, and did you go to Murakami?
I didn't do Murakami. I went to Banyan Creek Elementary.
Okay. So pretty much we did middle school and high school, pretty much the standard, but she was already, you were probably in 8th grade when I was coming into 6th grade. So we would never cross paths like that.
Okay. Like 2 years ahead of you or 1?
2.
2. Okay.
Yeah. And then when I entered into IB at Atlantic and I was taking an elective. So I started pretty much taking photography because like origin story for me in a sense is like I started photography within church. My uncle would like to take full credit of why I started photography, which to an extent I will give him that. But when I signed up for photography in high school, I just thought it was just going to be just regular, just like, I'm just going to get this out of the way, whatever. And then here comes Steph. So my second year, I ended up taking photography again because I was having fun with it. And I was taking with Roni, Mr. Roni, shout out to him. We started doing concepts and stuff. And he was like, maybe you should take it seriously. And as I'm showing him stuff, you walk by and you're like, whoa, that looks really good. You should still keep going with it. And I was like, who's this? Like, like it's like, wow, there's another Black girl validating what I'm doing and pushing me to go a little bit more deeper into it, because I was just like, I'm just shooting. And then after that, it kind of skyrocketed from both you and Roni helped me like push a little bit deeper into photography and take it actually seriously. It's not like it's a, elective, like just to get a grade and keep going. Like I have an eye and I actually can do this. So I thought it was just always funny because it was me, you, and then Glorielle was in our class. Well, in my class. Okay. So it was only 3 Black girls. Really? Who else was there? I don't think anybody else was in photography classes with us that were Black. I'm not sure, but yeah, that's pretty much the origin story. So like from then on, me and Steph kept in touch. I think also another thing is I tried to go to SCAD, and Jamaicans, they not doing the art school like that.
Apply? I don't know that I knew that you applied.
I was going to apply, but my mom was just like, I don't think so. And then in hindsight, I understood her perspective. Like really now, she just really wanted me to save money. She didn't want me to go into debt. She didn't understand the loans and X, Y, and Z and how I could possibly get some assistance, whatever the case may be. She just didn't want me to be in debt. And I appreciate that because I don't have that much student loans from the route that I went, right?
Yeah.
So when I approached her about it, because I knew you went, and I was like, well, Stephanie's there. I think it would be good. I think it's a pathway. She was like, no. So that is my origin story in getting to know Steph pretty much. And it just went from there for the most part. We just kept in touch on socials and we would hit each other up. Yeah, I think that's pretty much where it all began.
I love that. I don't remember that part of the story, which is hilarious. But I think it's also really sweet because everybody's got those like core memories that you hold on tight to, that like those are those turning pages and those turning points in your career or figuring out your trajectory of your future. So I'm honored. I'm glad and thank my Ori for like giving you some sound affirmation
Yeah.
that moment. And yeah, once I actually knew who Jess was, like we were always like immediately cool. It was just a funny thing that people would confuse us, but at least now we knew each other.
Yeah.
And because I was 2 years ahead, obviously there's like this time gap, but anytime I came back to South Florida, I knew she would be a resource. When I had my engagement party in Florida, I hired her to like take pictures at my photo booth. I've always like made myself available to her for like any questions or feedback. She would share some of the projects she was working on down in Miami. When you started dabbling into nude photography, you hit me up too. I remember that. And yeah, it's just one of those friendships that like no matter how much time or like space has gone by, like we always kind of come back as if like nothing has changed, which I really appreciate because life be life in. And it's, we weren't and still aren't necessarily the type of people who like talk every day, but we know that we're a resource for each other. We know that like we respect each other like immensely. And if Jess needs something, I'm down. And if I need something, I know that Jess is down. And that's really, really, really powerful. So I'm grateful for our origin story. I'm grateful for all the things that we've brainstormed to like create together that we haven't done yet, but will. Excited to do. And this is really like our first big joint project, really. I mean, we've kind of like, we've dreamt up lots of different things, but this is our first time like really fully executing in a way where we essentially just came together. I reached out to Jess because I was just like, I really want more solo exhibitions. I really want to have a presence in LA. I feel like my future gallery is out there. I really want gallery representation. And the few times that I've been in LA, that's always been really great for me. So when I found out that Jess was moving to LA, I was like, yes. And we just got so deeply like involved in the photo community there, and like you just dived straight into like the art community there. And then I saw you were starting to get into curation. I was like, oh, is there like a win-win opportunity here? And that's where those opportunities like happen. Again, like we say in a previous video, so many exhibition opportunities comes from your network, the people that you know, the people that you glow up together. I didn't know that. I just probably didn't even know that she would be interested in curation like back when we met in high school, but stuff happens and people evolve and careers change and shift, and we add on new skill sets to the things that we already know how to do. And yeah, then you've got people to call on and reach out to help each other both elevate and grow.
Yeah, I think that's the beauty in like, starting to create friendships and bonds with people that you can eventually do long-term projects with and elevate. And we mentioned that before as well. I think that is really essential when you're trying to create a bond with a curator, is really go out your way to create some sort of connection with the curator. It's not saying you got to be buddy besties all the way, but you want them to understand your work. For me, I understood Steph's work just because I started to dabble more into nude photography, and I enjoy, and I am a champion for Steph. Like, that is how our relationship came about, is because I championed her. I loved her work. She pushed me to keep going every step of the way when I was confused in school. When I was confused when I transferred to FIU, didn't know what I was doing, didn't have much motivation, and I knew she understood being the only Black woman in a lot of these spaces. So it was always there. So I think when you're creating that friendship with a curator, vice versa, an artist as well, you want to understand their work. You want to be a champion for their work, because that's what you're essentially doing. You're creating experience around work that you love, right? And you want to work with a curator that loves your work, that will put you in the rooms, that will champion you and advocate for you each step of the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think the key word too is that it's genuine, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's a part of what makes networking in any industry so difficult, because it's like, I'm having a conversation with you because I can get something from you, or like, I want something from you, opposed to just genuinely trying to get to know a person. And all of my greatest opportunities have come from just that. Like, even literally the big sale I had
Oh
in
yeah.
LA.
That was
Like,
crazy.
I was just having a conversation with someone. Like, she didn't ask for a price or nothing. Like, we were just chatting. She asked about my son. Like, we were talking about motherhood and all of these things. And then at the very end, she's just like, oh yeah, I'm really interested in this piece. Like, let me get your number, and like, I'd love to know more about it. I was like, oh, okay. But like, by that point, it's like, we were already like ready to just go hang out.
Yeah. It's just like, it's just free flowing. Yeah.
Yeah. So all of those opportunities too. And just, do you remember our first like non-art related hangout? Like,
Oh yeah.
really,
We
really
really
hang
had,
out?
yes, we really had a time. Yeah. It was
Jess
a
was
time.
my carnival plug. I wanted to do carnival so bad.
Mhm.
Being in Miami, she'd already done it so many times. Jess showed my husband and I the time of our lives. And it was so nice to, I think, because we were also 2 years apart, we really didn't have a lot of time to like hang like that.
Yeah.
We also are both daughters of Jamaican parents, so run street. That's just not an
Yeah.
option when you're in school.
Mhm.
So college was that time, but I was in another state. Jess was in
Mhm.
Miami, so yeah, I really appreciate what adulthood has provided for us to evolve our relationship.
No, for real. It's been, it's, I think that was like also another pivotal jump for us, because we're always connecting like, oh, I'm in South Florida. Oh, can you do, like you said, shoot your, what was it, your engagement party?
Yeah.
Yeah. Or, hey, I have this idea, I want to run it by you. That type of exchange. And it's never gone like any further than that, just because I think we're both, I don't know if we knew how to enter or had the opportunity. I don't know if we knew how, if we had the opportunity to just hang, because
Yeah.
you were in,
Always because we were always in passing.
yeah, always in passing. You were in
Yeah.
Savannah, I was in Miami. You went to, obviously you moved to Atlanta, and then I still was in South Florida, and then I moved to obviously LA. So it's just always been touch and go in that aspect, but always appreciating what's happening for both of us. And I think having that outside experience was really fun, because we had a time.
For sure.
We really did. We really did. But yeah, I think just some takeaways, I guess, for everybody to go from here with is make sure that your connection is very much genuine. I also am a champion of talking to your friends and seeing what they're interested in, nurturing those gifts. Like me and Steph, we nurtured both of these gifts. She wanted to be in LA. I wanted to start curating solo more. I think that's a really, really big component of connecting with an artist and curator. And I think using your circle of people that you already know, that you already have a friendship, you know genuinely that you guys will make it together and want to do a big project together. And you know there's not going to be any, not for a fact, but you work well together for the most part. And me and Steph work well together. We're
Yeah,
both
we
pretty
have
much,
similar work ethics, which is also really great. So it's
yeah.
not it's never a situation of, someone's working more than the other. Like
Mhm.
we get each other.
Yeah.
And even like our resumes, like the type of work that we've done is just very similar because our brains just function similarly.
Yeah.
So definitely mine your own network. Like
Mhm.
go through whether it's your close friends or people that you just enjoy, and maybe you're not even that close friends with them yet. That's cool too. But see what they're up to. What are people getting into? Reconnect with people that you haven't chatted with in a long period of time. You'd be surprised who's in your network,
Mhm.
or who's in an industry that you want to get into, or who works or has a relationship at a space that you're interested in working with. Like we're almost always 1 to 2 degrees of separation to whatever it is that we want. So we really just kind of got to have the guts to go after it, and ask those questions and build those relationships. If your existing friend circle is not supporting your art practice or is not conducive to elevating your art practice, just change up the circle.
Yep. Yep. Exactly. I think that's a good takeaway overall. I think so. Well, let us know in the comments what your origin story with your art practice is. We would love to hear everything. Me and Steph's, and we would love to hear yours. So we'll see you in the next video.